Welcome back to the channel. So here is the review of my Breitling Superocean 42mm. I've got the watch on the wrist, but I'm going to show you what comes in the box, just so you guys see that. I didn't show you that before. Very nice outer box, okay? They always have a really nice leatherette style inner box, and I like these. It's kind of like a travel case. So there was some of this was the bezel protector there. We also have in here the, there's my extra link, and then you have your Breitling. They've been doing this for years too, little chronometer tag there. So there's that stuff. And here inside, there's your case back sticker. I always like to throw that in there. Here is the chronometer slip, so you guys can see that. Very nice. They always do that. Very, very nice. So I like that. And then here is your international warranty. There's the manual. So that's all in there. Okay, so let's get to the watch now, since you guys have all seen this. Get this stuff out of the way. Now, what I think about this Superocean, I think it's probably one of the best, so far for the brand. I love the dial on this. The Lume just screams, and the Arabic numerals, the markers, everything is so big. The hands, it's just super, super bright and easy to read, very legible. Another great detail that I didn't really notice so much, and when I got it, is that the hands, they're like this, gray, metallic, and even the surrounds on the markers are the same as well. So if you see the surrounds, they have this, this gunmetal gray surround, and then of course gunmetal gray on the hand. So this is a straight up tool watch, and it just looks great. I think that's compared to a lot of other Breitlings where everything is polished and polished stainless steel and everything is really just blingy. This is super under the radar tool watch, and that's what I really can appreciate with what they did with this whole design language on this one. You still of course have the polishing on the sides, which they've done very well. But that's all. That's where you have all your polishing. There's no more polishing anywhere else. The band is all brushed. And these are very nice bands, fully articulated. And you can see how it just, when it's on your wrist, super comfortable. Does not pull hairs, any of that. You got your case back, stainless steel case back. But that's just the only polishing. The sides of the case, the under part of the case. That is it. The crown, nothing else. So if you're looking for a tool watch, and polishing here on the clasp. But if you're looking for a tool watch that is strictly a tool watch and not a blingy, like some of these newer watches, like you look at the Omega Seamaster, even the Submariner too. Because like I said, I've always been a fan of the older Submariners, the 5-digit references. I don't like the 6-digit references. They're just too blingy and bloated case and all that. I just never been interested. But I really like what Breitling's doing. The only thing I wish they did, we'll get into the dimensions and everything else, but the only thing I wish they would have done was on that date, put a, gunmetal gray border or something. I just think that's kind of funny that they just leave the date like that, but it's fine. You have an hour marker, or not an hour marker, but you have a little marker there, and it's Lume too. But a border would have really tied it together here, I think. But beautiful. You have your Breitling wings and B up there at the 12 o'clock. You have Breitling 1884 Superocean down towards the 6, chronometer 500 meters, 1,650 feet. Do you really need to go much deeper than that? I mean, that is super deep. Swiss made at the 6. And like I said, these markers are applied and they're super legible. They're huge. You could see that kind of that blue purple hue there because it has AR coating on the top and bottom of the crystal. So that's another thing I love about Breitling is they do it so well. It's almost as if you can touch the hands. I even had somebody make a comment with an older Breitling that I had a while back. No, this is years ago, 2-3 years ago, maybe longer, where they says, man, it looks like you can touch the hands. And I think that was on maybe one of my chronomats that I had. And that's just the appearance. And they do the dials and their crystals so well. It just, you know, even a non-watch enthusiast can appreciate that. The bezel on this is got this vulcanized, I think it's some type of rubber, I believe. I could be wrong. I really couldn't find anything on that. Someone else said it was like a DLC coated something, but very nice. All the numbers and markers here are raised just a hair, and then you have that rubber, vulcanized rubber insert. So it's going to be very durable. I don't see that scratching at all, and I think that was another good choice when it comes to the tool you know, function of this watch. I mean, it's a straight up tool watch. It's a dive watch. It can be a field watch. It's going to do it all. Now the dimensions is 42 millimeters across. Let me get the caliper going because I didn't know the exact width or wingspan here. So, or length, I should say. So let's do that. And let's see if I can do it on camera. 49.5, so just about 50, and then our thickness is coming in at 13.3 if I'm doing that correctly. So not thick at all. Very nice sizing. I like the size of that crown too. It's nice to have a crown that you can grip, and that's 6.2 about. So that's great. 22 millimeter, or no, these are 20. I think it's a 20 mil. Lug opening. Yeah, 20 mil lug opening. So enough with the caliper, but very nice sizing. And on the wrist, this is my 7.5 inch wrist. It's probably really, I always say 7.5. It's probably 7.25, to be honest, but fits me beautifully. And on this bracelet, I only had to remove one link, and it fits perfect. So it's just amazing. And Breitling for me, I think I really, it was one of the last brands that are still independent. I know Oris is still an independent watchmaker, Rolex is, but with these big brands, they were one of the last, and they got recently bought out a few years ago. Great brand. I mean, Breitling, I think, deserves a lot of credit. And I just think, you know, with their aviation, their diving, everything else, I think. And they just came out with a new chronomat that's really nice. That has the B01 in-house movement in it. And that B01 in-house movement, if you watch all the videos on it, how they developed it, how they made it, everything that comes into it, I mean, it's just great, man. These are true great watchmakers. And it's a great brand, and they're affordable. They're priced right compared to everything else. Everything else is pretty expensive and kind of overrated, in my opinion. I mean, and I'll go back to the Seamaster again. I just don't like the newest Seamaster. I think they really messed it up in a lot of ways. But it's just too, it's not a tool watch anymore. It's just too blingy. And there has to be a, you know, if it's going to be classified as a tool watch or a diver or something, it's got to look like one. So anyway, let's do a Lume shot real quick. And then I'm going to put it on the Timegrapher too. That way you guys can see how well, because this thing is running the 2824-2, which is a tried and true movement, been used in, God, really expensive watches, you know, to really inexpensive watches. And this one is heavily decorated. You can't see it, but it's heavily decorated, and they heavily modify it as well. So it's keeping really good time. Here is with the lights out, with the Lume. You guys can get what I'm talking about. Look at that Lume. That is super bright. This is probably the best loomed watch I own right now. I was thinking that the Marine Master 300 was my brightest, but I think this one just barely takes the cake over that one. Okay, but look at that brightness. That's amazing. That is super bright. This thing is all night long. It just shines. So another reason why I love this watch. Okay, so let's turn the lights back on. We're gonna put it on the Timegrapher. Let me show you, because I didn't really show you, because this is a full review, of course. There's your Breitling wings on your fold over piece of the clasp. There's your clasp, 1884. So Breitling's been around since 1884, a lot of history. There's Breitling on the back, Superocean, certified chronometer. There's your serial number, your part number. This part number is an A17366. They make a beautiful blue dial version of this. I think even a white dial with blue surround. So look into these. These are just great. I think it's a home run, 500 meters. But even the work in the back here on the case back is just magnificent in my opinion. I think they do a wonderful job, and you get a lot for your money. I really do. So let's put it on the Timegrapher. You guys can see how well it's performing. And I ordered a rubber strap for this. Some guy in England. I got it at a really good price. It's going to take a while for me to get it, but I wanted to put it on a rubber strap as well because I think it looks great on that. But here we go with the specs here on the actual movement. So our amplitude is 324. Amazing, very high amplitude, amazing there. Beat error 0.0. Of course, 28,800 vibrations per hour, and +1. Yes, this thing is +1. This has been very accurate, super accurate. My Marine Master 300 by Seiko is very accurate as well. My Tudor's somewhat accurate, but this is probably my most accurate watch right now that I own, that's in my possession. This thing is just great. It's like I said, it ticks all the boxes for me. This is definitely one that's going to stay with me. I can always let the other ones go here and there. You know how it is when you're a watch enthusiast. I mean, you can't keep them all, and there's other ones that you want to look into. So of course you got to sell a few here and there. I will be doing a state of the collection review, video as soon as I can. As soon as I get my Seamaster back, it's under warranty. It's being repaired right now. But yeah, so look at this. Great specs on this thing. It runs like a champ. What else could you want? It's a Breitling. Okay, so thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. And you guys, please subscribe, please like, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you. I think I didn't show you guys the bezel. 120 click. Very nice, very precise. Very loud though. I think out of all my divers, this is definitely the loudest. But lines up. Everything is done very well with the bezel. There you go, guys. So anyway, now we'll close. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Goodbye.